Have you ever taken leftovers from the fridge, warmed them up in the microwave, and thought you were making a fast, healthy meal? But what if some of those reheated foods could secretly harm your body, increasing your risk of cancer, gut problems, and even brain damage? In this video, we'll explore 5 everyday foods that doctors and experts say you should never reheat because they can become toxic. These are foods you probably think are good for you, but science shows that reheating them can create dangerous chemicals tied to serious health risks. Stick around to find out which foods to avoid and the shocking reasons why, all backed by real medical research, so you can make smarter food choices and stay healthy every day. Before we start, I'd love it if you could like this video. Your support helps me keep sharing these important lessons. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. If you enjoy this, comment 1. If not, comment 0 inches so I can improve. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Reheating spinach can turn its nitrates harmful. Spinach is a superfood loved for its health perks. You can blend it in smoothies, cook it in stir-fries, layer it in lasagna, or toss it in salads. It's a kitchen favorite. Loaded with vitamins A, C and K, plus iron and antioxidants, spinach is a top pick for staying healthy. But one common mistake, reheating it, especially after storage, can turn this nutritious green into a danger. The problem is spinach's natural nitrates. Normally, nitrates are good. They help blood flow, lower blood pressure, and even boost workouts. But studies, like those in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, show that when spinach is cooked, stored, especially for too long, and reheated, especially in the microwave, nitrates turn into nitrites, which can then form nitrosamines, chemicals linked to cancer. Nitrosamines are a big deal. Research from the World Health Organization and National Cancer Institute ties them to higher risks of stomach and colon cancers. New studies also suggest they might harm the brain, possibly speeding up memory loss or diseases like Alzheimer's over time. The scary part: you can't see or taste this change. It happens silently. This is extra risky for older adults, whose bodies struggle more with toxins. As we age, our cells repair slower, and harmful chemicals hit harder. What was a small issue at 30 could hurt your brain or nerves at 60. Long-term exposure to nitrosamines might fuel inflammation, which is linked to Alzheimer's, according to studies in neurology. Imagine this: you make a big pot of spinach soup on Sunday to eat all week. By Tuesday you microwave a bowl. It tastes fine, but the reheated spinach might now have nitrosamines. Do this for years, and these chemicals could build up, quietly raising health risks. Don't quit spinach. It's still a superfood when fresh. Just be smart. Eat it raw or lightly cooked. If you have leftovers, try them cold, like in salads. If you must reheat, use low heat on the stove, not the microwave, and don't reheat more than once. Store spinach dishes in the fridge right away and eat them within a day or two to keep nitrates safe. Knowledge is power. Understanding how everyday kitchen practices can influence your health empowers you to make informed choices. By making small adjustments, like prioritizing fresh or cold spinach, you can protect your body and brain from silent risks, ensuring that this nutrient-packed vegetable remains a health ally rather than a hidden threat. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Number 2. Reheated potatoes can quietly disrupt your health. Potatoes are a beloved comfort food, cherished across cultures for their affordability, versatility, and satisfying texture. Whether mashed with butter, roasted with herbs, baked with a crispy skin, or simmered in a hearty stew, potatoes are a cornerstone of countless meals. However, a little-known risk arises when potatoes are cooked, cooled, stored, and then reheated, a common practice in many households. This process can trigger changes in the potato's composition that may pose health risks, particularly when handled improperly. When potatoes are first cooked, their starches break down into a soft, digestible form that our bodies process easily. However, as cooked potatoes cool, especially if left at room temperature or refrigerated for too long, these starches undergo a process called retrogradation, transforming into resistant starch. Resistant starch, in moderation, can be beneficial, acting as a prebiotic that supports gut health and helps regulate blood sugar, according to research in the Journal of Nutrition. But the trouble begins when these cooled potatoes are reheated, particularly using high-heat methods like microwaving or uneven reheating techniques. The primary concern with reheated potatoes lies in their potential to harbor harmful bacteria, such as Clostridium botulinum, the bacterium responsible for botulism. This risk is amplified when potatoes are cooked, wrapped in foil, which creates an oxygen-poor environment, and allowed to cool slowly at room temperature before storage. These conditions create an ideal breeding ground for C. botulinum, which thrives in low-oxygen, starchy environments. Even if the potatoes don't smell or look spoiled, the bacteria can produce neurotoxins that are odorless, tasteless, and invisible, but capable of causing severe illness, including symptoms like nausea, dizziness, and in rare cases, neurological complications. For older adults, this risk is particularly concerning. Aging brings a natural decline in immune function and digestive efficiency, making the body less equipped to combat bacterial toxins. Moreover, the gut-brain axis, a growing area of medical research, highlights how gut health directly influences cognitive function. Chronic inflammation caused by harmful bacteria or toxins in the gut has been linked to an increased risk of neurodegenerative diseases, including Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, as noted in studies published in Frontiers in Neuroscience. Thus, the seemingly harmless act of reheating leftover mashed potatoes could, over time, contribute to systemic inflammation that impacts both physical and mental health. Imagine you've baked a tray of potatoes for dinner, wrapped the extras in foil, and stored them in the fridge. A couple of days later, you reheat them in the microwave for a quick side dish. While convenient, this practice could introduce low levels of bacterial toxins into your system, which may accumulate with repeated exposure. The risk is even higher if the potatoes were left to cool slowly before refrigeration, as this extends the window for bacterial growth. To enjoy potatoes safely, follow a few simple guidelines. First, cook only what you'll eat fresh whenever possible. If you must store leftovers, cool them quickly and store them in airtight containers, not foil in the refrigerator, to slow bacterial growth. When reheating, use a stovetop or oven to ensure even heating, and avoid reheating potatoes more than once. If leftovers have been sitting in the fridge for more than a couple of days or show any signs of spoilage, err on the side of caution and discard them. Potatoes remain a nutritious and delicious food when prepared and handled with care. By being mindful of how you store and reheat them, you can minimize risks and maximize their benefits. For older adults, who are often focused on preserving energy, memory, and overall vitality, these small adjustments can make a significant difference in long-term health. Number 3. Reheated eggs may release harmful compounds. Eggs are a cornerstone of American cuisine, prized for their affordability, versatility, and nutritional density. Whether scrambled for breakfast, hard-boiled for snacks, or incorporated into quiches and casseroles, eggs are a go-to protein source, packed with essential nutrients like choline, which supports brain health, and high-quality protein for muscle maintenance. However, a common habit, reheating cooked eggs, especially in a microwave or at high temperatures, can transform this wholesome food into one that may pose subtle but significant health risks. When eggs are first cooked, their proteins undergo a process called denaturation, where they unfold and reconfigure into a digestible form. This is a natural and beneficial part of cooking. However, reheating already cooked eggs, particularly using uneven or intense heat, triggers further chemical changes that can compromise their safety and nutritional value. Two key issues arise: the breakdown of sulfur compounds and the oxidation of cholesterol. Sulfur compounds naturally present in eggs can degrade during reheating, producing a characteristic rubbery texture and off-putting sulfurous odor. More concerning, however, is the oxidation of cholesterol in the egg yolk. When reheated, especially at high temperatures, cholesterol can oxidize into compounds called oxystrols, which have been linked to increased inflammation and a higher risk of cardiovascular diseases. According to research in the Journal of Lipid Research, chronic inflammation, in turn, is a known contributor to cognitive decline, memory impairment, and neurodegenerative conditions like dementia. As research in Nature Reviews Neurology shows, older adults are especially at risk from these effects. As we get older, our bodies handle fats less effectively, our arteries lose flexibility, and our brains become more reactive to inflammation. This means small diet choices, like reheating scrambled eggs for breakfast, can add up to big problems over time. Picture this: you boil a dozen eggs on Sunday to eat all week. By Wednesday, you microwave one for a fast meal. It seems like a healthy protein boost, but reheating makes the proteins tougher and can oxidize the cholesterol, creating inflammatory chemicals in your body. Do this regularly for months or years, and that low-grade inflammation could slowly damage your health. To stay safe, eat eggs fresh or soon after cooking. If you meal prep eggs, try them cold, in salads, sandwiches, or as snacks, instead of reheating. If you must warm them up, use low heat on the stove, not the microwave, and avoid reheating more than once. Always refrigerate cooked eggs right away and eat them within a few days, and trust your senses. If an egg smells odd, looks strange, or has been sitting too long, toss it out. Eggs remain a nutritional superstar when prepared thoughtfully. By making small changes to how you handle and consume them, you can continue to enjoy their benefits while minimizing potential risks. These seemingly minor decisions, how you store, reheat, or choose to eat your eggs, can add up to significant health benefits over time, supporting your energy, cognition, and overall well-being. Your body deserves the best, and sometimes that starts with rethinking something as simple as your breakfast routine. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time.